Hare Krishna. Now we'll deal with some of the points that have been brought up in the second chapter, part A of the second chapter of Bhagavad-gita. The first point that Krishna makes when he is beginning to teach Arjuna is technically called Atma Anatma Viveka. Atma means the soul. Anatma refers to that which is not the soul. Viveka means discrimination. So this means that Krishna is giving us knowledge on how to discriminate between the soul and those which are distinct from the soul. What does this mean? This means that there is a soul and there are two types of bodies. There is a physical body and there is a non-physical body, a subtle body that is interfacing between our physical body and ourselves, the soul. You'll find more information about this in chapter 13 of Bhagavad-gita. So I'm not going to bring it up here. You can go to the online database, you can look up chapter 13 yourself, and you can understand further details of what Krishna has brought out here. Okay, the next point is, not only did Krishna say that the soul is different from the gross and subtle bodies, he also began to speak about what is called karma vipaka. This is an expression that Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan describes. Karma refers to karma, vipaka refers to maturation. In other words, how one's karma matures, how one receives reactions to one's actions in terms of the laws of karma in this life or in the next lives. This point is brought out by Krishna also. In other words, reincarnation of the soul with the subtle body in one gross body after another in terms of the law of karma has been brought out. The soul reincarnates with the subtle body enveloped around it. You will find further explanation in the third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapters 30 and 31 and 32. If you look through the Srimad Bhagavatam, and you will notice that these three chapters in the third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, they talk about this subject matter in great detail. So I'm not going to bring it up here. Krishna also spoke about dharma. He actually spoke about swadharma, which is a subset of dharma. What is dharma? Let's have a look at that. Dharma has been described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's been defined actually. Here is a fine definition of what is dharma. That which is prescribed in the Vedas constitutes dharma, the religious principles, and the opposite of that is irreligion, adharma. The Vedas are directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, and are self-born. This we have heard from Yamaraj. Yamaraj is one of the 12 Mahajanas in the universe who know the truth about dharma. Here is a Sanskrit. Veda pranihitaha dharma. That is the definition of dharma. Religious principles are those which are prescribed by the four Vedas, Sama, Yajur, Rig and Atharva. Hi adharmaha tat viparyayaha. Indeed, adharma, irreligious principles, are the opposite of that which is not supported by Vedic injunctions. So this is what is called dharma. Dharma is of two types: Samanya dharma and Swadharma, also called Savishesha dharma. Samanya means general, dharma is dharma. Samanya dharma refers to dharma which is common to all, which is applicable to all persons. This refers to one's spiritual duties to the Supreme Lord Krishna. It is also called Krishna Bhakti. You will find a list of the common dharmas which are meant for all in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Look at this. Here is a list of 30 common duties. This is worth looking into. These are the general principles to be followed by all human beings: truthfulness, mercy, austerity, bathing twice a day, tolerance, discrimination between right and wrong, control of the mind, control of the senses, non-violence, celibacy, charity, reading of scripture, simplicity, satisfaction, rendering service to saintly persons, gradually taking leave of unnecessary engagements, observing the futility of the unnecessary activities of human society, remaining silent and grave and avoiding unnecessary talk, considering whether one is the body or the soul, distributing food equally to all living entities, both men and animals, seeing every soul, especially in the human form, as a part of the Supreme Lord, hearing about the activities and instructions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of the saintly persons, chanting about these activities and instructions, always remembering these activities and instructions, trying to render service, performing worship, offering obeisances, becoming a servant, becoming a friend, and surrendering one's whole self. O King Yudhishthir, this is spoken by Narada Muni. O King Yudhishthir, these 30 qualifications must be acquired in the human form of life. Simply by acquiring these qualifications, one can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there are 30 duties here, out of which you first have 21 duties, and then you have these 9 duties here. These 9 duties are the 9 aspects of Bhakti Yoga: hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, remembering Krishna, rendering service to Krishna, worshipping Krishna, offering obeisances to Krishna, becoming a servant of Krishna, becoming a friend of Krishna, surrendering one's whole self to Krishna. So this is Bhakti Yoga, and the remaining 21 are accessories to Bhakti Yoga. These are common for all. Everyone is meant to engage in these activities of Krishna consciousness. Another category of dharma is swadharma. Swadharma is what Krishna brings out in the first part of the second chapter of Bhagavad-gita. Swa means one's own. Swadharma means one's own dharma. Dharma that is specifically applicable to oneself. One's material duties to the Supreme Lord Krishna, also called karma. This specifically means that I, according to my psychophysical propensities, I have certain duties to Krishna corresponding to my varna and my ashrama, etc. These are different from person to person. Therefore, this is called swadharma. So Krishna had told Arjuna that considering that you are a kshatriya, it is your swadharma that you should be in this war and fight for the sake of protecting Vedic dharma.